If controversy were a sport, Travis Barker would be a champion. After decades of fame and chaos, what has the internet squinting now isn't his music or marriage. It's old words and old accusations resurfacing. This isn't a loud scandal. It's a quiet, moment, and that can be even louder. When old relationships refuse to stay buried. The first chapter in this renewed side-eye comes courtesy of Barker's ex-wife, Shanna Moakler, whose relationship with Travis was never exactly a masterclass in quiet dignity. Their marriage played out publicly, dramatically, and occasionally like a reality show that forgot to stop filming. Recently, Moakler revisited their breakup and once again alleged that infidelity played a major role in their divorce. According to her, the marriage deteriorated under a combination of cheating, emotional detachment, and what she felt was public humiliation. In her version of events, the betrayal wasn't a rumor, it was the breaking point. Now, legally and factually, it's important to say this clearly. Travis Barker has never publicly admitted to cheating during their marriage. There are no confirmed receipts being passed around like party favors. What exists instead is a long-running narrative that Moakler has repeated consistently over the years. And consistency, fair or not, carries weight. Especially when the person being accused is now very publicly married to Kourtney Kardashian, living a relationship so affectionate it could make a rom-com director say, "Tone it down." The contrast is jarring. On one hand, you have Kourtney and Travis, constantly touching, kissing, and affirming each other's souls in public. On the other, an ex-wife saying, "Yeah, that's not the man I remember." The internet loves a before and after, and this one practically edits itself. The memoir moment that refused to stay quiet. If the cheating allegations reopened old chapters, the second controversy felt like stumbling across a sentence you really wish you hadn't read. A passage from Barker's memoir resurfaced in which he described his daughter, Alabama Barker, as a baby, using language many people found deeply uncomfortable. The wording itself wasn't long, poetic, or detailed, but that was almost worse. It was casual, offhand, and once people noticed it, they couldn't unnotice it. The internet reaction was immediate and loud. Many people pointed out that describing an infant's body using terms typically applied to adults is unnecessary at best and disturbing at worst. Others argued that even if Barker meant no harm, the comment showed a serious lack of awareness. And that's where the debate really landed. This wasn't about accusing him of malicious intent. It was about context, about understanding how words land when they're written down forever, especially by a grown man describing his child. Social media reactions ranged from disbelief to full-body cringe. Even longtime fans admitted the wording was unnecessary. The consensus wasn't "cancel him forever," but rather, "Why would you ever think that was okay to publish?" Once the internet finds something uncomfortable, it does what it does best. It keeps digging. PDA, parenting, and the fine line between love and oversharing. From there, the spotlight widened. People began revisiting other moments involving Barker, particularly his hyper-public relationship with Kardashian. Their affection has never been subtle, it's intense, constant, and proudly on display. Normally, celebrity PDA earns eye rolls and then fades away. But critics began pointing out moments where this affection happened in front of their children, and where those children appeared visibly uncomfortable. Suddenly, the discussion wasn't about romance. It was about boundaries. No one is arguing that parents can't show affection, but viewers questioned whether there's a difference between modeling love and making everyone around you feel like they accidentally walked in on something private. When clips circulate of kids awkwardly looking away, the tone shifts from cute to maybe not? This is where Barker's image as a rock star dad started to get complicated. The internet began asking whether his public behavior consistently shows awareness of how children experience those moments, not how adults justify them. Alabama Barker and the social media storm. Then came the most delicate part of the conversation, Alabama Barker's online presence. Over the years, critics have accused Travis of allowing his daughter to post highly sexualized content at a young age. These criticisms pop up regularly whenever Alabama trends, and they often come with heavy moral judgment. Alabama, however, has not stayed silent. She has defended herself, denied rumors about cosmetic surgery, and made it clear that she feels confident and in control of her image. She has spoken openly about body positivity and rejecting shame. And that matters a lot. Still, critics argue that this isn't about Alabama's confidence. It's about parental responsibility. They question whether the adults in her life should provide more guidance in navigating an online world that is famously unforgiving, especially to young women. This is where opinions split sharply. Some see Alabama as empowered. Others see a system failing to protect a teenager from excessive exposure. And, once again, the conversation circles back to Travis. When patterns start to form. Individually, none of these moments would necessarily define a person. On their own, they're the kind of things celebrity news cycles chew up and spit out within 48 hours. Cheating allegations without concrete proof? Unfortunately common in Hollywood. An old memoir quote that didn't age well? Welcome to the Things We Shouldn't Have Published Hall of Fame. Too much PDA? Celebrities have been making the public uncomfortable since paparazzi learned how to zoom. Parenting disagreements? Every parent on Earth has been judged for less. But when all of these moments line up back to back, the story changes. Together, they begin to look less like random noise and more like a pattern, or at least the perception of one. And in celebrity culture, perception isn't a side detail, it's the main event. Fans aren't reacting to a single comment or one resurfaced allegation. They're reacting to what feels like repeated instances of questionable judgment. Each moment adds a small weight, and eventually the scale tips. The internet doesn't ask, "Is this the worst thing ever?" It asks, "Why does this keep happening?" Add fame, money, and Kardashian-level visibility into the mix, and suddenly, every decision is under a microscope powerful enough to detect bad vibes from 2007. Being married into the Kardashian family doesn't just elevate your status, it upgrades your scrutiny. Nothing stays buried, nothing stays small, and nothing is ever just private, even if it happened years ago and was written in a book you assumed no one would reread. Reinvention doesn't equal erasure. Travis Barker has reinvented himself many times, from punk drummer in Blink-182 to reality TV regular, to survivor, to high-fashion rock husband. Each version has expanded his brand and softened his edges. But the internet doesn't care about rebrands. It cares about receipts, screenshots, and archived quotes. That doesn't mean Barker is secretly a villain. It does mean that being famous doesn't protect you from scrutiny, especially when old behavior clashes with a carefully curated present. The current reaction isn't a cancellation, it's a pause, a collective, and in internet language, that's sometimes worse. Celebrity chaos or something deeper? So where does this leave Travis Barker? Some see this as typical celebrity overanalysis, old wounds being reopened because controversy gets clicks. Others see it as a valid reckoning with boundaries, parenting, and accountability. The truth probably lives somewhere in the uncomfortable middle. Travis Barker isn't just a drummer or a Kardashian husband. He's a public figure whose words and actions are permanently searchable. And in a culture that never forgets, even moments you thought were harmless can come back louder than ever. For now, the internet hasn't made up its mind. But one thing is clear, the side-eye is real, the conversation isn't going away, and in the age of receipts, no rebrand is ever complete. Whether this is just celebrity chaos or a moment worth serious reflection is up to the audience. But as history has shown, once the internet starts asking questions, it rarely stops at the first answer. And now it's your turn. Do you think this is just another case of celebrity chaos being blown out of proportion, or something that actually deserves a closer look? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoy smart breakdowns of pop culture moments like this, like and subscribe, because there's always more tea to unpack.